Hi everyone, I'm Rob Ladd, and this is the Cavalier Sports Report, where we take an inside look at Cavalier athletics by talking to coaches and players from Johnson County Community College. Today our guest is tennis coach Glen Moser. Last week when we spoke, you were looking ahead to the conference region tournament with hopes that you could qualify both your men's and women's teams for the national tournament, and I think in many ways you exceeded those expectations.
Yeah, you're looking at, last time I talked to you, Rob, I said I hope I come back with some good news. Well, this is actually great news. So our men pulled a major upset in the fact that there's 9 flights at our meeting, or at our meet, and 6 singles and 3 doubles. And Cali was the #1 seed in 7 of those flights. So realistically, you got to win 5 of those 9 probably to be region champs. So we had to not only hold on to the 2 that we had, which were by the skin of our teeth, but we had to defeat them in 3 other ones that we weren't expected to. And not only did we do that, we did it in 4 other flights. So the guys were ecstatic. It was like a soccer tournament with there's a lot of international kids there, and they're singing and everything else going on, and our guys are not quite as vivacious as some of the other teams verbally, but anyway, we got in the van, and there's an oldies channel on. The song that was playing was "Taking Care of Business," and I thought this was pretty appropriate. The guys certainly took care of business, and that van was really rocking. I thought I had a flat tire there for a second, but anyway, yeah, we couldn't be happier. I've never in 32 years had 6 guys come close to playing their full potential as these 6 guys did. And they pretty much maxed out, and there's still a little room for improvement, but we really felt good. So.
Well, and you have 6 of your 9 take first, and the 3 that don't take first place actually get second place. So all of them in the finals matches, and you have the women's team, which has kind of been up and down throughout the season, hampered by some injuries, but they really came out to play last weekend as well.
Oh, the ladies were great. In a little bit, I'm going to talk about individuals for both teams, but the women, we haven't been healthy, and to be honest with you, we're still not. I had 3 of our 6 players that were kind of limping around, but they performed well. Tracy Cooper, who had a tremendous year, she's our #2 singles player, #1 doubles player. She won her #2 flight, and then 2 girls that we, put together for the first time this season is Jamie Hertland and Casey Spencer at 3 doubles, and they won their flight. And then we had 5 other spots where we finished second, and then the other 2 spots we finished third. So put all those points together, we finished second as a team. We're certainly in the middle of the pack, if not better, at the national tournament. And so, the girls performed just as well as the guys did. It was a great day.
Now explain the significance of that for somebody who hasn't played tennis before, of playing, especially in like a regional tournament where the competition is at its highest level, playing a doubles match with someone that's not your usual partner.
Well, granted, they've been together at practice all the time. To be honest with you, in some situations, there's a little renewed vigor on both their parts because they're together for the first time, and we practiced a couple times together before we played this match, so it's not like they just walked on the court. But on the other hand, you got a kind of a new energy there, and let's get them go. Because sometimes you don't like to see it, but sometimes partners get a little stale with one another, and it's the same thing over and over. So part of it was necessity, was just injuries. Casey, because of her knee, really couldn't play singles, so we put her in a double spot where we thought she was healthy enough to really contribute, and she did. And Jamie just simply improves every day that she comes to practice. It just gets better. She's a soccer player, and you get better at tennis all the time. So yeah, it was pretty neat.
You mentioned, let's talk individuals now. On the men's side, having 9 guys get first place finishes, the other 3 get second. I mean, was there any way with Cali having all those top seeds you could have seen your entire men's squad in the finals of the regional conference tournament?
Yeah, well, deep down in, I certainly didn't think it wasn't an impossibility, but tennis is such a real sport in that it's hard to pull upsets in terms of team-wise. I mean, when another team's ahead of you at 7 out of 9 spots, you know, for you to beat them, that's something. You know, a soccer game, you know, sometimes you can kick 30 goals and none of them go in. But in tennis, it's just pretty straightforward, and generally the best team, you know, wins. But you know, we kind of convinced the guys that they were the best team, even though they didn't have the #1 seed. So we had played them before, and they beat us 6-3 as a team. But I just said we have to turn some of those close matches around, and they did. So. But you know, going on down the line, #1, Evan Santa played 1 for us, and he'd only played 1 match in the last month because of an injury. And his first match was 3 hours, and it was only 2 sets. He won 7-6, 6-3, played for 3 hours, and that got him in the finals. And then he played a really, really good player. Well, he told me, he says, "Coach, I am anxious to play that guy if I get a chance at nationals." You know, even though he got beat 6-2, 6-2, you know, he knows with 3 more weeks of work that he's going to be a lot more match tough than he was this last time. But it was a great effort by him. And then him and his partner Luka Radulovic won the #1 flight going away. We won the championship 6-0, 6-2. So the guys really look good there. Then at #2, I can't say enough good things about Nicholas Spar. He played a guy that was seated well ahead of him, and we didn't get to see him in the duel because he had been injured, but I called a couple coaches up and tried to get a little of how he played and his ability level, and everybody raved over this kid. And Luka just really destroyed him, and the score was 6-1, 6-4. And Luka actually Nicholas got a little tight to make it 6-4. I think he could have beat the guy worse. So it was great. And then he went and also won #2 doubles. So he is a double winner. Luka Radulovic, our 3-player, made it to the finals, lost 6-2 in the 3rd set. So that was a 2.5 hour battle there. But of course he came back and won at 1 doubles. And then Nelson Janapi is our #4 player, and he was seeded #1. And even Nelson will tell you, he didn't think he had his best level of play, but it was good enough to win that flight. I mean, he kept getting by, and he won both singles and doubles, so he was a doubles winner. And then #5 was a pleasant surprise. John Burbano won in 3 sets, and in a semifinal, and then he beat Callie in 3 sets. So he had a long hoe. And then Team Akhmedov made it to the finals at #6 and got beat in the finals by Callie. So great match. I do have to tell you one quick story. We can clinch the title at #3 doubles, and they're very good, Callie, at 3 doubles. So we win the first set in a tiebreaker. In the second set, they're serving for the second set at 5-4, and we break them. So we get to another tiebreaker in that set, and they kind of win that pretty convincingly. So we go to the 3rd set, and they win the first 3 games, like, you know, very quick. Boom, boom, boom. Matter of fact, people started leaving that match and going to our #2 doubles, you know, because that's what it was going to get down to. Well, they come back and win 5 straight games. We're up 5-3, and then they hold on and win 6-4, and that was a region title right there. So 2 doubles was nice to win, but we didn't have to. So
clutch moments that time by your double squads. And we're short on time now, and I think what we'll try and do is have you on next week, and we'll kind of look forward. You guys have got this week off, and then you move on to the Northwest Missouri State University. You've got a duel against them before the national tournament in May, so we'll have you on next week. We'll preview Northwest Missouri State, and we'll talk about the national tournament.
Great. I'd love to talk about nationals and explain that to everyone. Thanks a lot for having me, Rob.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.